All right, and we are with Grayson Waller from NXT. He will be facing off with Johnny Gargano at NXT Stand and Deliver this weekend. Grayson, first, very excited to meet you. How's your WrestleMania weekend going? It's got to be a lot of pressure getting ready to get everything rolling.
I wouldn't say it's pressure. Like, this is what I do. I've come here locked in. You know, a lot of people here are enjoying the festivities. You know, they're going out to eat, all those type of fun things. Like, I got an unsanctioned match on Saturday. I'm locked in for that. All my mental energy, all my physical energy is going towards that. I'm in the best shape of my life, lad. So, like, if I was Johnny wrestling, I'd be stressing right now.
Well, of course, Johnny Gargano, Johnny wrestling, you'll be facing off with an unsanctioned match. What surprises do you have that Johnny G hasn't seen over the past few years?
I think everyone's seen what Johnny can do in those type of unsanctioned matches, and I study tape. I'm good at what I do. So I've seen the matches with Tommaso and all those type of things, but I'm willing to go as far as I need to go to put him out. And that's the thing, like, I think I can beat Johnny. I know I can beat Johnny, but the thing is, that heart that he talks about is like a real thing. Like, you can put that dude through immense punishment, and he somehow comes through at the end. And so my job is to make sure that doesn't happen and put him out for good.
How exciting has this rise for you been through NXT? I mean, some terrific matches you've had. The Iron Survivor match, it's really been a meteoric rise for you at NXT. How are you feeling about where your career is right now, and where do you hope to be soon?
I'm not surprised, to be honest. I think from day one, I was this good, and it just took a lot of people a while to kind of notice that. I think from the moment I stepped into the War Games cage and I jumped off the top, 2 days later, I took out Johnny Gargano. He went online last week and was talking about how I've never done anything since then. And I'm like, dude, I'm the most relevant guy in NXT, and I've never had a championship around my waist. Like, that says a lot about me. People talking about Melo and Braun, they're the co-main event. I'm the real main event. So he wants to say I haven't done anything. Like, AJ Styles came to find me. Apollo Crews came to find me. LA, not like all these guys, they want to come down and work with me. Like, I'm the golden ticket. You know what I mean? So I'm not surprised, and this is just going to keep going.
Well, after you face off with Johnny, let's just say you win this match. What's next? Are we thinking maybe a call up to the main roster?
If that's something that they want, I'm ready to go. And I'm ready to go today. But also in NXT, like, there's a lot of talent. There's a lot of new guys coming in. Dragon Lee just came in. I want to fight Dragon Lee. Like, all these people respect Eddie Thorpe. Everyone's talking about him because he did New Japan a few times. I couldn't care less. I want to show everyone that these guys aren't on my level. All these athletes at the PC who did high jump when they were in college, like, I want to prove to them, like, this isn't for you. Like, I'm on a different level to you. So if the main roster calls, I'm ready to go. But if I'm still in NXT, I'm going to establish myself as the guy, and, like, no one can compete.
Oh, that's awesome. Grayson, I want to wish you all the best this weekend. Good luck against Johnny Gargano, man. It's going to be a fight.
It is, and it's going to be Memorial Monday, when everyone wakes up Monday morning and they realize Johnny Wrestling's dead and Grayson Waller took over.
Very awesome. Thank you very much. Appreciate the time. And we are here on the Mark Hoke Show with the woman who is challenging for the SmackDown Women's Championship and is probably the busiest woman in WrestleMania this year, Rhea Ripley. Rhea, you've got too much going on this weekend. My God.
Yeah, it's been hectic so far, and it's only going to get busier. So,
well, of course, priority one has to be the match with Charlotte Flair. Just on a personal note, what's the difference for you this time around as opposed to the last time when you faced her? Obviously, you know, it was the NXT Championship, but in terms of where you are professionally and what this match means to you.
It means everything. This is my redemption story. This is where I get everything that I wanted so bad in that first WrestleMania. I get the crowd, I get the stadium, I get that WrestleMania feeling. I have my family here. I get to challenge for the SmackDown Women's Championship against Charlotte Flair, someone who I have been on record saying that I want to wrestle at WrestleMania back when we did the WWE PC videos on YouTube. So this is just like a full circle moment for me, sort of thing, coming back to it and just like finally getting that shot to show everyone exactly what we've got. And we stole the show the first time we stepped in the ring together. So I can only imagine what it's going to be like with an actual crowd in attendance where we can feed off that electricity that they're throwing at us and get that adrenaline rush where we just want to beat the crap out of each other.
That's awesome. Well, of course, you're pulling some other duty here too. You got to take care of Poppy, right? We got Poppy hanging around in that match with Dominic Mysterio, taking on his dad. And you've been a bad girl on that. You really have. Come on, you know, you're invading Thanksgiving and Christmas.
I do what I do. They welcomed us eventually. Look, especially the Christmas one, okay? Like, his grandparents, they were lovely. They told us to come, so we rock up. Ray and Angie, I don't know what was up with them guys, but they were not happy, so we obviously went outside, had a little fight. Angie slapped me, and then Dom got arrested, out of all people. Angie should have been arrested. She's the one that laid hands on me. He didn't do anything.
It's been fun to watch, though. Those pieces have been absolutely amazing. But one thing that I think is interesting for you right now is you're supposed to be the bad girl against Charlotte, and it seems like everything you're doing, everybody's cheering for you. How are you dealing with that?
I think everyone just likes a good bad girl, you know? I love it. I feed off this stuff like no tomorrow. Like, I love going on social media and seeing everyone just react to things that I post, because it's very mixed, and I love that. I love having people question themselves and question others and just get the bickering started. I love a little bit of chaos, and that's what I'm here for.
You know, I think after you get this done and you win the SmackDown title, maybe you ought to be looking at going after the U.S. title or the Intercontinental, because you were beating up the guys out here, too. I mean, and it's really impressive to watch you go.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, it's something that I've been doing since I was a kid, actually. I used to play tackle chasey at primary school, and I used to tackle all the guys and make them cry. So we're just keeping the tradition going.
Very nice. Well, what can we expect from you this weekend? What's going to happen?
Absolute brutality. Rhea Ripley, mark my words, is coming out of WrestleMania, the new SmackDown Women's Champion. Dom Dom's going to beat his deadbeat father, and Finn Balor is going to put Edge in the grave.
Fair enough. Rhea, thank you very much. Certainly appreciate the time.
No worries. Thank you.
Thanks. And we are with the man of the hour on NXT Stand and Deliver. He will be challenging the amazing Braun Breaker for the NXT Championship this weekend. None other than the spectacular Carmelo Hayes. How are you today, sir?
I'm so good, man. Thank you for having me on.
So, obviously, a huge match with one of the great superstars of NXT. I think a lot of people are saying this is kind of an NXT dream match between the two of you. How excited are you to get in the ring with Braun Breaker and put this show on for everybody?
I don't know if anyone's ever really excited to get in the ring with Braun Breaker, but more than anything, bro, I'm just ready. You know, I'm so prepared. Somebody asked me earlier if I was nervous. I said, no, not nervous, just ready.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people have said about you, and every time your name comes up on our show, they just say, can't miss. This guy is going to be a future world champion someday. He's absolutely incredible in the ring. And when you hear things like that, what's your reaction?
It's flattering. It really is, but I never lose sight of the bigger picture, and I don't really let that get to my head because I know I need to focus on what's in front of me. So many people want to predict my future, but in reality, it's like the plate in front of me is so big and so full of food that I have to eat that before I can get to that point. So, I mean, it's great to have people, you know, talk about me like that in high regards, but, you know, I'm so focused on what I'm doing now that I don't let that, you know, cloud my mind. I, you know, take care of business right in front of me.
Well, when you head into a weekend like this here at WrestleMania, and you think back to those 7+ years grinding it out on the indies, what comes to mind?
Just the sacrifices, man. Like, just so many things. Like, and it's funny, until you really stop and reflect, you don't even think about it because sometimes you get so caught up in the whirlwind of it all. But when you stop and reflect, you're right, man. Like, I'm glad that you said that because, like, haven't done that yet because I've been so locked in on this match. But I think tomorrow's going to be that moment where I say, wow, man, everything I did to get here, everything I sacrificed to get to this point, it was all worth it. It really was. I'm seeing a lot of people I saw from back when I first started. I just talked to Graham over there, and he had actually interviewed me when I was brand new, like a couple months in Boston. So it's like wild that now this full circle. So, yeah.
Yeah, so are we going to see you on the main roster coming up soon? Now, I saw you grin when I said that. You got to be thinking about it a little bit. Obviously, taking care of business first, but you've got to feel like you're ready to roll.
So, I mean, if everything doesn't work my way with the NXT Championship, like, I think that is probably the next step, unless it's, you know, we're in a rematch situation type of thing. But like I said, man, earlier, I got to focus on what's in front of me. You know what I mean? If I'm over here thinking about going on the main roster, and I've talked to Sean about this many times, what's the most important thing is the most important thing, and that's what's like in front of me right now. So we'll get there when we get there. It's not going anywhere, and I'm only going to be better when the time is right. Spend some more time down here. I'm only going to get better.
What's it like working with Shawn Michaels? I'm sure you've been asked that a million times, but working with a legend like that, what are some of the things that you've learned from him that you hadn't even thought about when you got to NXT?
I mean, he's just like, it's just a mastermind with it. Sometimes he'll say something casually, and it just carries so much weight, because he's experienced it. I said earlier with somebody, he's been through the highs, he's been through the lows, he's experienced everything there is to experience at the highest level of WWE. So it's like when he speaks, it's gospel. When he speaks, you're listening, because he might say something. If you're not paying attention, he might say something that might change your career, and that happens almost every time I talk to him. So yeah, it's a great experience, and I've learned so much, so much.
What can we expect from this match? What's coming up?
I think a new NXT champion is coming up. I really do, and I think that this is a match that was built up over the last 18 months. Even though we weren't in the ring together for those 18 months, I think it was just the rise of two stars for NXT. We made it through, all the ups and all the downs of the 2.0 era that, everybody wanted to see it fail. Everybody kind of was, NXT 2.0, but, at the end of it all, you were talking about two names. It was Braun Breaker and Carmelo Hayes. So I think that we're going to put on a good one for everybody. But on top of that, I think that, we're going to live up to the expectations of being the two guys.
Awesome. Carmelo, thanks for joining us. We really do appreciate it. All right. And we are now joined by one of my favorite tag teams in WWE. I might not disagree with that, especially since you're standing next to me. It is Alpha Academy, Chad Gable, and Otis. I can still call you Otis, right?
Yeah, why not? I mean, I think some may say, I don't know how to say that other name, but yeah, Otis is, completely fine. Yeah. Everybody says that way, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the right way to do it.
Or legs, yeah.
Fantastic. Well, guys, you've got a big fatal four-way match. I hope nobody dies in the match. I mean, I hate saying fatal on it, but, you got a big one coming up here. Braun Strowman, Ricochet, Street Profits, and the Viking Raiders. What's the battle plan?
You just listed the guys that fully define what we're calling this match, which is the showcase match. Everybody in this match is hungry, ready, willing to showcase what they can do. They're been waiting for the opportunity to do this on a big stage like this. And, there's been a little bit of criticism about the build to the match and that it was kind of thrown on there last minute. But it's a showcase. It's for the guys that have the ability to show what we can do, and that's what we're going to do. It's going to be a car crash in the best possible way, fireworks, and we're going to blow people's minds.
Blow them good, baby. Yes, it's one of those matches where it's like very big variety of characters in there. You got Ricky jumping any way he could possibly. You got Braun, the big boy, which I'm coming after first. And the Street Profits is our second match together in WrestleMania like last year. And again, you got to watch over Montez Ford. Angelo Dawkins is a beast as well. And the Viking Raiders, we haven't had too many matches with those guys, but I tell you what, by looking at them, they're pretty dangerous looking to me.
Yeah, this is going to be a fantastic match for you guys. Now, with the amateur wrestling, I mean, has that bonded you guys together a lot when you work out and, when you came to WWE? I'm kind of an amateur wrestling fan myself, and I wrestled too, so, yeah. No, I wasn't. I am now. But what was that like for you guys coming together and having that background shared?
Yeah, I think most importantly, it was just the idea that, we had been friends for so long because of it. And, we've known each other since 2008, training together at the same places. So our mindsets were very similar coming into this business before we even got here. Just the work ethic and what goes into, creating success. And we both agree on those things. And so that helped us a lot along the way. We know what kind of work it takes. And just the physical punishment we put ourselves through, having somebody that's willing to go through that with you every day it's really helpful.
I mean, it's your second WrestleMania with your best friend, so really it's kind of crazy to think about that. I'm sure he's dreamed and fantasized about being in a WrestleMania moment, and here we are again for the second time. So really it's just, it doesn't hit me personally until we get in the ring there, and the people are going crazy. So again, we've been through a lot together, a lot of roads, a lot of miles, a lot of frequent flyer miles, and we're bringing it all on the line here in this match.
So let me ask you about this modeling gig. What's going on? Are we getting distracted by this, or are we just having a good time? What's up?
The modeling was just like a hobby, or maybe not. The training is my main focus here. Training, Alpha Academy, all the way. But a few people help me with my skin now. I got some lotion, and I got my own man. It gives me I think it's called a manicure for my fingernails here, looking extra pretty. But besides that, pure Alpha Academy. Yes, modeling's kind of on the side.
Now, Chad, you've had some pretty amazing singles matches, and I actually discussed on the show. I would love to see you wrestle Gunther sometime for the Intercontinental title. Any thoughts about that? Doing more singles work and possibly stepping up like that?
Absolutely. I think the last 7, 8 months, 9 months has really shown people that when thrown in there with these singles guys and some of the guys that we consider more upper echelon guys, I can really hang in there. Not only hang in there, but win. And a guy like Gunther, I've gotten that a lot from a lot of different people. He'd be one of my top matches at the moment. He's really on fire. I think I'm on fire. And I think when I wrestle these guys that are bigger than me and have a style that clashes with mine, I have a tendency to bring, a lot out of them, a different side of them that people don't normally see. So I think we'd have a great dynamic together and put on quite a match.
Well, you got one to take care of this weekend in your men's showcase match. Gentlemen, I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, good sir.
And we are on the Mark Hoke Show with, he is just simply awesome. That's all there is to it. The host of WrestleMania, The Miz. How are you doing today, sir?
Well, you said it best. I am awesome. I mean, I'm feeling the electricity of WrestleMania. It's the season. It's the time where everyone just gets ready. WWE superstars, the fans, and SoFi Stadium is going to be pumping Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, we can't wait for it. So the host of WrestleMania has gone through all sorts of different things over the years. What can we expect from you as the host of WrestleMania this year?
Expect the unexpected. And I say this all the time, but if you literally watch anything I do, you have to expect the unexpected because WWE is live. It's in your face. You never know what's going to happen or when it's going to happen. But when it does happen, it's a memory that lasts a lifetime.
Well, you've made a ton of memories at WrestleMania, with the battle with John Cena main eventing and all the other great matches you've had. What's one that's kind of an underrated one that people don't talk about that you think about when you look back over your career at WrestleMania?
Right now, the one that comes in my head would be Shane McMahon versus The Miz at MetLife Stadium. It's kind of anything goes, and my dad gets involved. My dad literally became a meme and went viral from, I told him, if Shane McMahon comes up to you, put up your dukes, right? And what did he do? He did it like, put him up, and put him in like an old school 50s boxer. And I was like, yeah, that's your stance, Dad? Like, really? But to have that match, and I think it's a pretty underrated match.
Yeah, and we've seen you pretty much grow up in front of our eyes since you were doing interviews, coming off reality TV into WWE. And what's that like to really have seen your life unfold in public so much? I mean, the reality TV show and everything.
It's crazy to watch, The Real World Back to New York season 10, which was in, I think, 2000. And I was 20 years old doing the show. And then here I am, 42 right now. I've been on TV for 22 years. When people said, he's only going to have 15 minutes of fame, I turned my 15 minutes of fame into years upon years of just hard work, dedication, and fun.
So what's next? I mean, I know you'd love to do acting. I heard the Johnny Cage discussion over there a little while ago. Where do you want to go from here? Where do you see yourself in another 10 years or so?
I don't know. I don't know what the future brings, but hopefully I can be the best dad and best husband I could possibly be and put forth work out there in the entertainment industry that I'm really proud of.
Now, when you made that shot at the NBA All-Star Game, I think I was actually producing a sports radio show. And I saw that shot go down, and I just sat there and said, he's going to be insufferable for the next 6 months. How do you keep doing all these things well?
I create moments, man. You know what the amazing part about that moment is? Like, what you didn't know, or what I don't think people saw, is like, they weren't really lenient on the rules. Like at one point in one quarter, there was 6-on-6. It was a 6-on-6 like basketball game. Then they have a 4-point shot. Then Richard Jefferson, who's an NBA player, like used to be a former one, was commentary. Then he was a referee. Then he was on my team. And so we had 0.7 seconds left. The other team has the ball. We're down by 3. There's a 4-point shot, right? I'm at the half-court point. They throw the ball in. I steal the ball, shoot the ball, make it. And I'm 0.1 seconds late. And they said, rules are rules, guys. Rules are rules. And I'm like, I could have been MVP. Could have been MVP. But, yes, I was very insufferable. Still am insufferable about that shot.
That's okay. You deserve it. It's all good. You know, people don't get moments like that very often. So what are you looking forward to besides your hosting duties at WrestleMania this year?
You know, John Cena's coming back. We haven't seen him in a while, to see what he does with Austin Theory, see what Austin Theory does with John Cena. Does he step up to the plate and knock a home run out? We'll see. Time will tell. I can't wait to see Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio. Dominic's been a little punk, and I can't wait for Rey to put him in his place. I can't wait for the tag match, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus the Usos. You look at Cody Rhodes' story. His storybook. I mean, it's literally the fairy tale ending would be Cody Rhodes standing tall with the WWE Universal Championship over Roman Reigns. But Roman Reigns has been so dominant these past few years, has been the main eventer, been the star. I mean, can he take him? I don't know. So those are all just matches that I'm looking forward to. And, you know, Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley. I mean, I think these girls are going to go absolutely ballistic out there. So it's going to be something to watch.
Yeah, this is going to be an amazing WrestleMania. And you're going to be running the show.
I'm running the show, and I'm giving forth energy because 2 days and these are long shows. And so I'm going to make sure this crowd is up and at 'em at all points of time.
Just no zombies. That's all we ask. No zombies.
They're never zombies at WrestleMania. Come on.
You never know. You never know. Well, Miss, thanks for joining us. We really do appreciate it. Have a great time at WrestleMania this year, and we'll look forward to see what the future holds for you.
You too.
And we are joined on the Mark Hoke Show with a lady carrying some gold around here. Pretty nice. NXT Women's Champion Roxanne Perez. Roxanne, and seriously, how are you?
I'm great. I'm so ready for tomorrow. I'm so excited.
Well, you got yourself in a little predicament, but of course, you know, obviously something serious happened to you a couple weeks ago when you collapsed. What's the health status? How's everything going?
I'm great. I'm back. I'm better than ever. Obviously, I went through it a little bit, but I think I truly proved to everybody that in that match with Meiko Satomura that I would do anything and everything to keep this championship. So I hope the girls in that ladder match know that.
Yeah, and the whole thing ends up resulting in you getting into a 6-way ladder match for that NXT championship. 6. Are you ready for some chaos on this one?
I'm so ready. The hard part about this match is that I don't have to be in the ring to lose my championship, which is pretty scary, but my game plan is just to stay in the ring as much as possible.
What are some of the things that you're expecting when you go into this with a ladder and all the craziness that can take place?
I'm definitely expecting chaos, but I have been in hardcore matches before, so I don't think many people know that I can be pretty hardcore, so I'm excited.
Did you get that from Booker T and the gang down at Reality of Wrestling? Did Brad Gilmore teach you to be hardcore? I had to mention them. If I don't, I'm going to get shot.
Yep, it was Brad. Shout out to Brad Gilmore. Thanks for making me hardcore.
Really? Seriously?
Just kidding.
Your career has been absolutely incredible, starting off in Reality of Wrestling and other indie promotions, and then the Ring of Honor World Championship to here. It's really been a meteoric rise. What do you attribute that to? How did you get to be so successful so fast?
I've been doing this since I was 13 years old, and so I've put in so much work, and I think being able to perfect my craft at such a young age has definitely been such an influential part of me being so successful here at NXT.
Now you get a little bonus because you have the guy that trained you, Booker T, doing commentary too, so he's always around. Does Book give you a little bit of flack?
He does, but Booker has always been like that. He's always been so real with me, so he'll tell me if I'm doing something wrong. He'll tell me if I'm doing something right, so I appreciate that.
Well, and that's important too, because you don't want to be working with somebody that's just going to be a yes person. So it's got to be nice to have the person that taught you what you know around. What else are you looking forward to on WrestleMania weekend? Obviously, some terrific ladies matches all over the place at Stand and Deliver and on the WrestleMania main card. What are you going to be watching?
I'm excited for Damage Control versus Trish, Lita, and Becky. I'm excited for all the matches, honestly, but I'm really excited for that one.
Were they role models for you when you were coming up?
I didn't start watching at the time that Trish and Lita were still on screen. So, like, Bailey was that for me. But I still have, like, watched back their matches, and I know everything about what they've done for the Women's Evolution and in WWE. So it's cool to, like, be able to see that and then be able to see people like Io and Dakota being able to have that opportunity. Like, that's really, really cool. So, yeah, I'm excited for that match.
Of course, usually when somebody wins that NXT Women's Championship, the next step is some great success on the main roster. And I can see you grinning already. What are you thinking about when you hear that and thinking about your future aspirations?
It makes me so excited for the future, but I think right now I'm just trying to live in the moment and take in every single moment that I can, soak it all in. I love being NXT Women's Champion.
That's awesome. Well, Roxanne, I want to thank you for taking the time to stop over with us. I want to wish you all the best. It's going to be a great match tomorrow at Stand and Deliver.
Thanks. Thank you so much.